Hey, everybody. It's that time again. We made it to another Monday. And you know it's by the grace of God because we didn't have anything to do with it. And I know y'all see this cute lady sitting up there on there. Isn't she beautiful? Well, I'm dedicating this show to Miss Nancy. We are here in Chicago at this point, and her services are tomorrow. But Miss Nancy, and as she was written in her thing, they called her Sweet Nancy or Fancy Nancy. And I'm going to tell you, okay, Miss Nancy, when she passed away a few days ago, was 99 years old. Okay? Do you hear? Okay, yeah, I'm going to say it again. 99 years old. And it's so funny because I used to tease my mom all the time because they were about the same age. But I'm looking, I guess she was 2 years older than my mom. And I used to tell my mom, oh, Miss Nancy is 90 whatever, and she does this. And Miss Nancy she was fine, she was beautiful, she was fun, and she kept her children in check. They had three, her and Mr. Isadora, and they were married 70 plus years, I believe. If I'm messing up, they were married close to that time. And they had three cool people that I got to meet. Gail, who's one of my best friends in the whole wide world. And I could beat her up, but she's a little taller than me, so I might not be able to beat her up. And Miss Tim, who I didn't get to meet, I missed him by a little bit. And then Mr. Michael, who I did get to meet. And that's not to be confused with the Michael that she's married to, because both of them are big Michaels, but it's not the same Michael. But you might want to wonder why she married a Michael. Her brother was a Michael, she married a Michael. We have to think about that and see what's going on. But I just wanted to give a tribute to Miss Nancy, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman who up to the very end was a beautiful woman. And I am so blessed to have known her and to know her daughter and her family. And I know that we'll see her again one day. And I just want to dedicate this show to her because tonight we're going to be talking about the TaTa's. Gail, I want to tell it, but I ain't going to tell it, Gail. If you come tell me I can tell it, I tell it, but I can't tell it, Gail. Okay. We're going to be talking about the TaTa's. Y'all know what the TaTa's are, right? Okay, thank you. And we have two wonderful people on here who have survived the devil attacking their TaTa's. You know, the devil is busy. He'll do whatever he needs to do to get to you. But with October being breast cancer month, we decided to do a show, and Dr. Camille is having technical issues, so she probably won't be here tonight, so I'll be back on my own, so there's no telling what might happen. But I have two cool people that I know. Everybody I know is cool, because I'm cool, so when they associate with me, we cool, so we all cool. But anyway, I have two cool people who are going to talk to us tonight about their journey in the breast cancer ring. And y'all see that thing up over it's y'all's over that side over there. Y'all see that? Now y'all know I'm not, right? Okay, y'all know I'm not. Y'all know I'm in somebody else's house. I'm in my friend Gail's house. So y'all see that? I don't want nobody saying nothing. I ain't changed, Anyway, back to the show. So let me introduce. Let's see. We'll do it in alphabetical order. Let's see, Christy. So I'm going to introduce the parent of two incredible children that I love to death. Miss Christy Dawson. Hey, Christy.
Hello, Gloria. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you
Good.
so much for having me.
Thank you for being on here in my last minute invitation. You ask people and they say no or whatever, but then God gives you folks that you need to be here. So the people who are here are those who need to be here to get the message across. So I'm thankful to you because I know you're on the East Coast, so you're up a little later than what I am here on the Central, but I appreciate it.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
you're
welcome.
welcome
Anytime.
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 Anytime. So let's see. We'll start with your story. Okay, I get to say this here. Okay, what was your first time when you met me? Uh huh. Be not. No, I'm
So
teasing.
let me
Whatever.
think. This
Listen.
was back in
Back in
2001.
2001. Okay.
Yes, and
Yes, and
we
we
worked
worked
together,
together,
and I
and
think
I
we
think we
immediately
immediately
clicked
clicked
from that
from that
moment.
moment.
So
So
you've
yeah.
always
You've
been
always
like
been
my
like
big
my big
sister,
sister,
my
oh, my
playing
playing
partner, my
partner, my
supporter,
supporter,
and
and
just all
just all
around
around
the friend
the
that I
friend that
miss.
I
I
miss.
miss you
I miss
being
you
here in
being here in
Maryland. I
Maryland.
really
I
do.
really do. I miss
But you
being in
moved
Maryland
around
too.
too
Around
much
too
for
much
me.
for me.
I
Oh,
couldn't
I
keep
couldn't
up
keep
with
up
you.
with you. You sound like my mama, okay? She used to say, go somewhere and sit down. But I never forget. I wish I was in Maryland too. But I found some crabs in Texas, so I'm kind of okay. But and it's so pitiful because I talk about missing the crabs in Maryland, but I do miss the people, but I miss the crabs too. So I have to say that. And you have two wonderful, wonderful young people. Tell us about them.
Yes, so
Yes, so
I am
I am
truly
truly
blessed to
blessed to
have my
have my
son. He
son. He
turned
turned
13 this
13 this
year,
year.
and I
And
have a
I have a
daughter
daughter
who is
who is
11, and
11
she'll
and
be
she'll be
12
12
next
next
month.
month.
So
So
I have
I
two
have two
little
little
schoolers
schoolers
now.
now. And tell them their name. Okay, your name is Christy, and their name is.
So
So
we have
we have
Christy.
Christy.
My son
My
is
son is
Christopher,
Christopher,
and my
and my
daughter is
daughter is
Christina.
Christina.
My
So my
son
son
goes by
goes by
Chris. My
Chris.
daughter
My
goes
daughter
by
goes by
Tina.
Tina. So I could never forget the names. All I had need to start saying was a Cree, and I get one. I get it all. So I never could mess up the name. So, but they're beautiful. Oh, I mean, beautiful and smart. Beautiful and smart.
Thank you.
And Christy's kind of a brainiac too. She probably won't say it, but she's kind of a brainiac too. She's pretty sharp. She's been in transportation a number of years, and was saying now that you're still at the FTA. And what do you do at the FTA, Christy?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm
so I'm
a
a
program
program
manager,
manager,
work
work
in
in
the
the
grants
grants
transportation
transportation
program.
program.
So we
So we
fund
fund
transportation
transportation
projects throughout
projects
the
throughout the
country.
country. Okay.
So I do
So
a
I
lot
do
of
a
the
lot of the
monitoring and
monitoring and
managing, making
managing,
sure
making
that the
sure that the
grants are
grants are
funds are being
funds are being
used
used
for
for
what they're
what they're
intended for.
intended for. Oh, okay. You be checking up on folks, huh?
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
audits
the
and
audits and
all.
all. Okay. Okay. Linda Madsen said something about you repeating twice. I don't hear it. I'm not sure what she's hearing. She may have to turn something off. So we'll see. You got two things on, Linda. You hearing Christy twice? I don't know. Okay. Before we get to your story, I'm gonna bring my other guest on, and this is Miss Karen Jones. And coming from the wonderful, let me see, can I put y'all at the top, put me at the bottom? There we go. Oh, see, I'm learning. Coming from the wonderful place of Refugio, Texas. Yeah. Hey, Karen.
Hey, Sweaty.
So, oh yeah, I gotta ask you that. I gotta ask you that question too. What's your first remembrance of me?
On the football field on homecoming, whatever year it was.
At A&I or at Refugio?
Refuria.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I missed out on both of them. I didn't get Homecoming Queen, but I got to be in the court of both of them, so I don't know. I guess I was just second best. Never first. Oh well. I'll get over it. So Karen.
Yeah.
So y'all, okay, I know she looked young, but she's retired, okay? And I was already talking about being old and not having enough money to retire. She retired, y'all. Okay, Karen, tell us what you do.
I take care of my mother. I used to operate a train, and opportunity came for me to retire, so I did. Came back home.
Okay, okay. So, tonight we're talking about breast cancer. And both of you have gone through that experience. And I call it an experience because that's what it is. And it's different. Oh, yeah, I did wear something too. It said in pink for the cure. Right? You see? Okay. And you have your necklace on and you have your shirt on. Okay. And y'all know pink is my color, so we can wear it all year round, so it's all good. But so who wants to go first? Talk about their journey.
I guess I can go first.
Okay. See,
I'm
Karen,
still hearing myself echoing. Do you guys hear me, Karen?
I don't hear it, but Linda is saying something, and I don't know if other people are hearing it. Would you put a note in the comments or whatever if you're hearing them echo? I'm not hearing it, but
Okay.
and I can get off if they are being echo and just put on the person who's talking. So, Chrissy, since you're talking, I'm going to take both Karen and I off, and as I need to ask questions or whatever, I'll come back on, and we'll see if that stops the echo. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay. So Karen goes and I go.
Okay. So it all started in December 2013 when I first discovered a small lump at the time in my left breast. And I thought that initially it was a cyst. It was very painful. And so I kind of just went through my normal routines as I normally would do on a daily basis. And then I realized that the lump was becoming a little aggressive and it was growing rapidly. And so I decided to visit my primary care. And she expressed her concerns and said that she saw that it was pretty aggressive. And she had recommended that I go and see a breast cancer specialist right away. So after going to a few of exams, and then I've also done a biopsy. In January of 2014 is when I received the most devastating, terrifying news. That is when I was told I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. So this resulted in undergoing a lumpectomy and 6 rounds of chemotherapy and then 7 weeks of radiation. So you can imagine that the year 2014 just appeared to me to be the longest year of my life. So what I did was, before I decided to start my treatments, I went and I said, first I'm going to cut my hair. I had shoulder length hair past my shoulder. And I knew that one of the side effects from chemo was your hair falling out, the shedding of the hair, and things of that nature. So the first thing I did was I stopped at hair cuttery. And I told the young lady, I said, I would like to cut off my hair. And she looked at me kind of concerned and worried. And she said, are you sure you want to cut all your hair off? I said, yes, just cut it all off. And so when I did that, I sort of kind of felt free. And I felt like it was preparing me for something greater. So when I first heard, going back to the news, when I received the news, my immediate response to the doctor was, I'm not going to believe I have cancer. I'm going to get a second opinion. And the doctor said, I want you to get a second opinion. So my mind at the time, all thoughts was coming across. And deep down, my thoughts were that of my young children. Then they were the ages of 4 and 5. I thought, I can't leave my children. And I will not leave my children. So because the cancer was spreading rapidly through my body, I had to begin chemo immediately. And that is when I decided to make my first stop to the hair cutting, get the haircut, and then start my first round of chemo. So when I first heard the news, I immediately contacted my dad and he jumped right in. My brother went with me to some of my chemo treatments, but my dad was there with me every step of the way. Every single treatment, appointments that I had, he was there for me. And I cannot thank him enough. So it wasn't until I started chemo, I then realized that I needed my son and my daughter more than ever to get me through this challenging time. They are my wise, as we mothers always said, they are the reason, I'm fighting this good fight. And so they are innocently leading me to complete healingness, and they didn't even realize it. They had no idea that they were my focal points, my reason to keep pressing forward and pushing through the pain and the suffering that I was enduring, and my children never saw. So during this journey, I witnessed my children, and they were young again. They were only 4 and 5, doing some amazing things that I could never imagine a child could do it at such a very young age. And the strong effects that they have on older adults and their families and their peers. My children took great care of me, not realizing that mommy was sick and weak. And I also have to say how truly blessed I was to have close friends and family members who cooked meals for me. They came by and folded my laundry for me. Anything that I needed help with, they were there for me. And I'm so forever grateful for them. But even though my children were also affected by my illness, and I could see they knew that something was going on. They were emotional, a lot of crying at times. They were very clingy. They wanted to sleep with me in my bed. And so what's amazing about all of this is that my 4 and 5-year-old were initiating chores around the house. And they also helped with preparing the meals, and they did laundry. And I said, how many do we know actually do laundry? A 4 and 5-year-old doing laundry. So I saw their bright smiles. I heard their laughters. I watched them play together. And these were priceless moments helping me forget about the pain and created memories I would cherish forever. So, Gloria, if you don't mind, I'm going to share this very special photo. And it's one of my best photos that, I look back on. And it just reminds me of what I went through. And, everything, the battle that I fought. So I'm going to share this photo. Okay. And you can let me know if you see it. And this here is a photo of both of my children, again, ages 4 and 5. And they were quiet, very quiet. So I thought I needed to peep out and check and see what they were doing. And this is what I saw. 2 sets of feet dangling from the washer. They were pushing clothes in the washer. And you may notice some powder substance on the floor. And so
I love it.
yes, this is my memory, and this is something that we look at, from time to time. So again, just creating memories, and most importantly, we have to trust God. We have to trust God. There were scriptures that I meditated on daily that kept me strong. But I have to say, just having my children physically there with me and my family and friends that were there for me, it has really helped me. That support system has really helped me. So I want to thank you, Gloria, for allowing me to share my story on this platform. And my hope is that it will encourage others, especially those who are currently fighting the good fight, is what it is. It's a good fight, and you can win. So thank you.
No, thank you, Christy. And you're not finished yet. I'm gonna bring Karen on to tell hers, and then we're gonna see if the audience has any questions, or I'll have some other questions for you also. Okay,
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Karen. Hey,
Yes, ma'am.
Karen. So I know. I think I solved the echo problem. So we're gonna see. They said there's no echo now. So y'all let me know if y'all still hear an echo at any point. My volume was too loud. That's what it was. But Karen, tell us about your journey. When did it start? What happened? What reoccurrences? What did you learn? What would you suggest to others about it?
Well, breast cancer kind of runs on my dad's side of the family. I had been through with my aunt, a couple of my cousins when they were through. I was real hard on myself about doing the breast exams almost every day, and how it happened. The guy that I was dating at the time, he touched my breast, and I just flew, and I was like,
Oh.
uh, something ain't right.
Did your
And
mama know he touched your breast?
uh, okay, Gloria. uh, I was
I'm
grown.
sorry.
I was grown. And I was in Dallas. I had just started my job. And the first time was in 2000. I had stage one.
Mm,
And I decided to do an experiment. The doctor that I went through, uh, I already knew about chemo, I knew about radiation, but they also had what was called a cocktail mix, which was
mm,
37 pills that you had to take in a 15-minute period. Not little pills, big pills. And that's what I chose to do.
mm.
Uh, my hair did fall out, but I was creative. I wore a hat, the little dart hats. Um, I I was off. I remember on Thursdays and Fridays. Wednesday night I would do my little treatment. Be off Thursday and Friday. Saturday and
Ooh.
Sunday I would go to work. I drove a bus at that time, and I would always have to get pulled off the bus because I would get sick. Smells was my thing. If you had Chantilly's, that strong perfume,
Mhm.
I would be sick. And
Mm,
so my boss, Danny Diaz,
mhm,
told me, you know what? You messing up my buses. You just gonna come in and you gonna fill out paperwork. So
mhm.
I would sit in his office and do data into the computer because Danny hated doing that. I'd go to sleep most of the time. I'd wake up, do a little bit more, file some paperwork, and because I didn't have sick time, and my friends, my classmates, took turns taking me. And the guy, as I said, I was dating at the time. He he cleaned up more throw up than anybody because I
Mhm.
just that's all anything. I could walk into the house and I could smell something. I would pull the refrigerator out and clean it out. It's just the smell was something for me. I mean, it just made me sick. And I had to keep it hidden from my mother because I didn't want
Mm.
her to worry. I did tell my grandmother, um, and it worked because take a village. The village was Dart employees. Then
Okay.
in 2004, it came back.
Mm.
Um, I decided the first time I didn't want to do radiation, but this time I did the cocktail mix in the radiation, stage
Mm.
two.
Mhm.
And since then, I have not had any scares. I was lucky. The second time I had surgery, I did a bipartial mastectomy, and the doctor that I had now works in Beverly Hills as a breast augmentation specialist.
Mm.
So he did a very good job um, because I have a cousin who is scarred from here to here,
Oh.
and it's just like zigzag. Um,
Wow.
Back in the day, like my aunt, her scars were horrible. Mine is very
Uh-huh.
minimum. Um, After that was 2004, 2005, I was asked to try to be an advocate as far as DART, which is the company I work for, to help because at that time we were getting a lot of females who were getting it. And I would
Mm-hmm.
try to tell them
Mm-hmm.
there's things I did that I learned from my aunt's experience is as soon as I found out, I started taking Ensure. I started kind of taking vitamins
Mm-hmm.
because, and I don't like Ensure, I don't like milk, but I would put in like in ice cream, just kind of something to keep your nutrients because it does take a lot out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them, I had hot flashes. Whew, Jesus, I'd be sitting there just sweating. And people were like, what's wrong with you? I was like, girl, y'all don't want to stand. Um, but I learned I would carry little ice packs and I would stick them behind my neck, underneath my arm, something, and people don't understand. That winter, it was cold. You know, Dallas is way colder than South Texas. I
Right.
never wore a jacket, and they didn't understand.
Wow.
I can say I've come a long way. I haven't had anything come back up. I've, you know, I've, I think one time, how you get a pimple out of,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, oh my God, here it is. But it was just a pimple. But, I tell people it is very good to check yourself and
Mm-hmm.
also to know that men need to check their self because I had an uncle who had it and
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about, that men could get breast cancer and
Mm-hmm.
then found that out. And it's very common. And
Mm-hmm.
especially if you build your bodybuilders and then they lose weight, they,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Then you
you
see it.
need to check your TaTa's too. So I just, I knew it was coming. Like I said, it's very prominent in my dad's side,
Mm-hmm.
but I was glad that I had learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
My friends cook. Even if you're just gonna eat one or two helpings, a
Mm-hmm.
spoonful, do that.
Eat. Yeah.
And I had cravings. I ate weird stuff that I don't even eat now. I don't eat peanut butter, but I ate peanut butter sandwiches every day. You know. But
Wow.
you have to get the nutrients in it, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
I tell people as soon as you find out, you start building your body because your body's gonna fight, and it needs the energy to fight.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just, I'm glad I've learned every year. I do. I have a shirt, 31 shirts that pink, and I went
Wow.
and got my nails done that has a little pink thing on it. Uh, I got some pink tennis shoes. I do
Oh,
it a whole
good.
month.
I think it's just cute. The pink is just so beautiful.
But I like pink, but I like the fuchsia kind of pink. But I'll do it. So
Yeah.
it's very important, and I just hope that someday that women, it's come a long way from when I done, and it's come a long way from when my aunt done. Um, the insurance, I know some people have hard times with the insurance. I
Mm.
think it should be an automatic thing. I was glad that at that time, Dart had great insurance. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I had the breast augmentation doctor, and he is one of the best in Beverly Hills. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I wanted to have a full mastectomy. He would not allow it
Mm.
because at that time I was like, I don't want to go through this. This is the second time. I didn't want to scare. Let's
But
just.
you were how old? How old were you? Like 30
Oh
something?
God, yes,
Yeah.
around that, yeah.
And you too, Christy, weren't you? Around 30 something? How old were you, Christy, when you got yours? Around 30?
I was 35 or 36. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So both of y'all about the same time. So, Christy, I saw you shaking your head a lot when Karen was talking. And I have to say, one of the things that I learned when you had it was I didn't realize there were so many different treatments you could have because I didn't know there were pills, that were radiant, and just different stuff. And I think you did something different. And then Karen said she did something different. Then she came back and took What was the process that you went through, Christy, again?
Yes, so my doctor recommended that I start with the chemo, and that
Mm.
was to shrink the tumor. He wanted me to shrink the tumor first because I was ready for them to just go in, cut it out, because I was in so much pain. I just
Okay.
wanted them to cut it out, you know.
Mm.
And initially, I wanted to do a mastectomy because I didn't want the cancer to come back. I was afraid the
Mhm.
cancer might come back because my family on my mother's side does have a history of breast cancer. I actually
Okay.
lost an aunt who was 32 years old at the
Hmm.
time. So she was very young, but she passed away, and she left behind a then 8-year-old son, my cousin.
Mm.
I just didn't want it to go back, but I guess, I had a great team of doctors and specialists, and they took
Hmm.
very well care of me at Mercy Hospital
Hmm.
in Baltimore.
Hmm.
And one of the best treatment centers you can go to. And so he recommended, he said, let's do the chemo first. And after the first round of chemo, there was no signs of cancer. The
Hmm.
tumor was wiped out. It was wiped out. But because he recommended that I go through the 6th round, I did the 6 rounds. My
Hmm.
mother couldn't understand why I was going through 6 rounds if it was all, completely wiped out. I said, well, my doctor recommended that I do 6 rounds of chemo. I'm going to do 6 rounds of chemo. And so then after that, we did the lumpectomy. So they went in and they just took some tissue just to make sure that the cancer was completely gone. They had removed, I forgot what they called the tube that you usually, I forgot what they called that.
The
So they
catheter.
removed, yes, so they removed that. And then that's when I had to undergo radiation. But I
Mm.
had to wait maybe about 30 to 45 days after my surgery to start the radiation. And
Mm.
so I had to go to radiation. Ooh, it was the most trying time for me because I had to go every day for 32 days.
Wow.
And at that time, I just started a new job because I'm thinking, oh, I'm cancer free. I've gone through the chemo. I've done the surgery. And then my doctor says, okay, Christy, now we're going to do the radiation. I said, radiation? I said, I thought I was done. I just started a new job. And what am I going to do? And so thankfully, he recommended that I get my radiation done at Georgetown. So I was
Which
going
was
back and
near.
forth. It was closer to my
Hmm.
headquarters in DC. And
Hmm.
so I would travel there because my appointments were very early in the morning before I had to report to work. So I would travel to the hospital every morning for 32 days, get the radiation for about 10, 15 minutes. It was a quick treatment, very quick treatment, and get dressed and then go on into work.
Mm.
And like Karen said, through the whole ordeal, I worked every single day. The only days I missed was when I had chemo because the chemo treatment took approximately about 6 to 8 hours of your day.
Mhm.
And then after that, you were just wiped out. You were wiped out, even with the booster shot, because we have to go back and get the booster shot. And that, oh my goodness, that just wore me out. There was vomiting and stuff like that. So, but I was thankful to God to have an employer who was willing to work with me. And then
Right.
also, well, two employers actually, because I just started a new job, and I didn't
Hmm.
know what was going to happen. So I was
Mm.
blessed that it all worked out that way.
When they say dynamite comes in small packages, y'all don't understand. Christy ain't but this tall. She bet Jerry. She bet Jerry. Jerry is like it because she bet the same height he is. And to hear that this woman has gone through this as she took care of two children, worked and did that. That's a whole paradigm that so many people don't even understand. Now, Karen, how was your treatment different from Christie's?
The liquid chemo has a lot of side effects. I
Mm.
tried something which they were doing a study, it just kind of happened, and I had a choice. I
Mhm.
didn't really want to do the the liquid chemo, so you did they call it the cocktail.
Yeah,
Some
and
days,
somebody's asking, how did you take 37 pills in 15 minutes? What does that look like?
uh, I have no problem taking pills now.
Okay.
I can take pills without water, but you take 5 and drink a lot of water, take another 5, but you had like a certain amount of time.
You had
And
to
if
give
you
me.
got sick, it would just kind of, because you would throw it up
Throw it
and
up.
they would kind of try to figure out what went in and went out, and you had to do it again. And I
Oh,
did that
same,
maybe
same.
twice, and I'm like, no, we're going to,
Uh,
I had a towel to make sure, the old folks, they put that little towel around you, and then they would have you lay down for an hour so
okay.
that if you would have any kind of
Mm,
reaction,
mm,
um,
mm,
I would just be hungry.
mm.
But the radiation I did, but I didn't like it. Um, and I hate to say this, maybe I shouldn't, but if I had a choice, I would never do radiation again. The
No.
smell of it, the smell of it is just
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like the burning of the
the
skin,
burning.
because
Yes,
that's what they're doing. Yeah,
yes.
it's like the
And
burning of the
then my
skin.
side
Yeah.
effects was that I had a
Yeah,
great the sense of smell. Was
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so yeah.
Wow.
So your
Interesting.
skin turns dark, because my skin was very dark in the area where my breast cancer, where I had the surgery and everything. And but it took a while. It took several months before my skin actually turned back to normal. But I was so like insecure with myself because it was so dark. My skin was so dark.
Mm,
But yeah, that's what it's
mm,
like. It's like the burning of the skin because
mm,
they're, treating that area.
mm,
So
mm,
But
mm,
sometimes, my dad, he went through radiation, and he didn't have it. It didn't bother him at all.
mhm,
But I just
mm,
personally wouldn't do it again. Uh,
mm,
but like I said, I wish they would have done the double mastectomy, but I was
mhm,
at childbearing age,
mhm.
and okay, I kept telling him Similac, okay, uh, but he refused. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna fix it. And he did a good job. Uh, I didn't have no children, so
Yeah.
we could have done
You could have done it.
it. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I just think women who go through it, they have to have a village to go through by
Mhm,
yourself. If you don't have family, if you don't have friends, if you don't have faith in God to pick up the Bible, because
mhm,
my pastor at the time would come, and I was funny. I didn't like people coming to my house, but they would come. And now that I think about it, yes, okay, yes, you might have helped, because I just wanted to be in a dark room, let me sleep. When I would go to Danny's office, people would come in there and bother me, and I was like, Danny, this is not going to work. He said, well, close the door. But they would
mm.
knock on the door, and I thank God for Danny, because Danny, I didn't have no sick time,
Yeah. Yeah.
and sick time was donated to me. But
Mhm,
like he had a little couch in his office, a little,
mhm,
it wasn't a couch. It was, I don't know, this little. I made a couch of it. And my coworkers, they would help me out a lot. Sarge, Big Sarge,
mhm,
he,
mhm.
he would just, if the days I decided to drive, and he would say, "Girl, go home. If you don't feel good, go home. Okay, fine. I'm not gonna argue."
Well, it's funny because I didn't know that's when you went through it. I thought you had gone through this before you ever went to DART. And I don't think you ever said that. I knew when Christie's was because I was there during her time, but I didn't
Yeah,
know
you
that's
left
when.
me at dark.
I know I left you. You can blame Robert. Don't blame me. Look, but yeah, when you said 2000, I'm like, that's right after I left.
Yep.
Yeah, wow. And so someone is asking, both of you are cancer free now. That is a blessing. So both of you have been cancer free for at least 5+ years or
Yes.
7 for me. I just
7.
celebrated 7 years this month. Yes.
Good, 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 good. Well, that is a blessing, and I
I'm
guess
16.
how would you say,
16
Sharon?
years. 16.
Yeah, yeah,
Praise
yeah.
God.
And I
Wow.
guess the message is we just have to keep checking. And like you say, even the men, because I guess I first heard that men got it when Richard Roundtree, he was the first famous person, man,
Mhm.
that I heard that had gotten breast cancer. But, and that's when it was, brought to my attention, oh, men can get it too.
Yeah.
Because, but it's known for women, and I don't know what the statistics say relative to men, but I know, for women, it's a prominent thing. And there are survivors, and then there are those who lose that fight with it, lose that struggle. And I don't know what the difference is other than God chooses to do what he wants to do. But it sounds like y'all you were made aware of it, whether it was through pain or just feeling or whatever, and then you dealt with it, and you've kept. Did they talk to you about any type of particular diet after, having breast cancer? Change this or change that? Did they say anything relative to that?
For me, it was just, I mean, because I was always a healthy eater. I do a lot of vegetables and salads and things of that nature. But I think for me, it was just a matter of more exercise because I wasn't used, because I'm always, I've been petite,
You just
so I didn't
little.
feel the need. So, but that was the important thing, but just making
Mhm.
sure that I get my exercises in, walking daily and that kind of thing. And so
Okay.
I
Mhm.
was getting a lot of walks in, I was getting a lot of steps in before the pandemic. So now it's been kind of hard trying to get those
Yeah,
steps in,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Karen, what about you? Were you given any instructions relative to eating or?
Not to have caffeine.
Mm,
Caffeine is a lot of times it's the starter of the cells or something. And I stopped wearing wire bras. Uh,
mm,
because exactly where it was is kind of, when you had them wire bras, that little end would always stick you. That's
mm-hmm,
kind of where it was, the area. And
mm.
that could have been, so my doctor had recommended, just get a regular, the Playtex bras, the grandma
Mhm.
bras. But, and I did. As
Okay.
far as exercising, well, we all know that I'm it's a process for me. I started walking. I'm on my third week of walking 2 miles on
Okay.
O'Brien's Road. So, uh, but I had lost weight. But then when I gained it, because I did take steroids,
Mm.
and the steroids,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. You had steroids too, Christy?
I did. I actually took 5 different medications during my treatment, and one of them was steroids.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yep.
because they're
Mm.
trying to get you to eat a lot.
Right,
Uh,
right.
like I said, I when my dad had cancer, I kind of knew things, and my stepmother didn't understand because she
Mhm.
would say, "Well, he doesn't want to eat." Okay, I call him Father. Okay, Father, what do you want to eat? Well, I want some Texas chili. If you're from Texas, it's a different kind of chili that people make. And so when I would go up there, I would make chili, and she would be, but he only ate 2 or 3 bites. That's 2 or 3 bites that he didn't get. Uh,
Mhm. Mhm.
if you had to, because your taste buds change,
Mm.
um, so you have to make it flavorful. I don't do salt, but I would add different kind of like garlic, as in just for him to taste it, and that's how it would be for me. Like
Uh.
I said, spicy food would do me good because it would feel like I was eating something. Though sometimes my stomach couldn't take it, but 2 or 3 bites, you have to eat something, whether it's bread, whether it's apples, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But you have to keep your strength up because your body's going to use a bunch of energy because your body's going to say, okay, I'm going to fight. And
Mhm.
the chemo, whether it's the pills or the liquid, it's trying to get your body to go in a little, it's like being a backup of the army of the fight.
Okay.
So, and it tires you out. And people don't understand. Sometimes walking across the room, I'd be like, whew, Jesus, help me. But you got
Mhm.
to keep it going,
Yeah.
and you can't give up. And that's
Mm.
why I like that a lot of people try to support
Mm-hmm.
uh, agencies that do, because I know for Black women, a lot of them do not get a mastectomy. And
Mm.
there's agencies, usually during my birthday, that's one of the fundraisers I try to do, is a fundraiser that helps Black women get a free mastectomy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have the insurance and you're, $200 is that's almost a rent. So you have to keep the mastectomy. You have to keep every year checking yourself at least monthly in the shower, laying down on the bed, or however it is. But you have to continue this even after the fight of the cancer. Because I check on the 15th of every month. That's my, you know,
Uh-huh. So when you say insurance won't take care of the mastectomy?
some don't.
Wow.
Um, Nowadays, insurances are not as well providing for health
Right.
care
Yeah.
as it
Yeah.
used to be, because one of my co-workers at Dart, she went through the whole chemo, she went through radiation, she had the surgery, and
Mm.
she was out for a while. And
Wow.
the insurance were fighting her because I was telling her, find out if you can take this. I can't think of the name. It starts with the H, but you can take it while you're doing the chemo, and it helps kind of build up. It's like a little thing you hold on to. And I was
Uh-huh.
telling her, try to do this. And for me, I had no problems.
Wow.
Even when they were, we were discussing doing the full mastectomy, they were going to
Uh-huh.
pay for it. When they did the reconstruction, you know,
Uh-huh.
they pay for it. But now it's a little harder. And
Wow.
then she ended up losing her job because you have a certain amount of time to come back, but you
Right.
may not be ready to come back. Everybody, 2, 3 months, everybody can't go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's different, their body system. And so she had to let go. And then she didn't have insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So insurance, that should be, something a little bit more easier as far as breast. You have free mammograms even in Dallas, but no, Parkland does it, but they only have
Mm-hmm.
like 100 appointments.
Mm-hmm.
100 appointments, and you've got over a
Oh,
hundred thousand people.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. 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 Mm. So, ladies, if y'all can believe it, we've been on here almost an hour. I can't believe it's already gone. Look. So, do y'all have any closing comments or anything you want to encourage those
the
who are there,
TaTa's.
going, because some are going through it now? Someone posted two names, and one is one of a friend of mine who I know, is going through some initial stages now, and then someone else. But anything, you know, about your body and what's going on, and if you feel like something's not right, talk to your doctors as you're going through, and just all those things. Any closing words? Karen, I'll let you go first, and then Christy can.
I would say if you find out you have breast cancer, start nutrients. And the other day, remember I was telling you to look for that sea moss?
Mm-hmm,
Sea
mm-hmm,
moss is really good. It has like 92 minerals, and it's really good to build up your body because you have to build it up. So that would
mm-hmm,
be my thing. You're scared, but get you a praying partner, get you
mm-hmm.
some vitamins, you know, fatten up because you're gonna lose some weight.
You're gonna lose some weight, and you might lose some hair. So you either go like Christy did the ball, and I've done the ball thing before too. I haven't been not at a cancer or anything, but it is freeing. But yeah. So Christy, what would you tell them?
Just to add on to Karen, just again, continue to pray, trust in the Lord. And I think it's very, very helpful to have, that support. And if you don't have like close family or friends, the hospitals, the medical centers, they have a support group
Mm-hmm,
for you.
mm-hmm,
And a lot of times, they meet, whether it be daily, or there could be a weekly meetings right there in the medical centers. And
Hmm.
then also, I think it's also just stay encouraged. I know it's
Yeah.
hard when you're going through it. It's very hard. But again, I had my children to look at every single day, and that reminded me why I'm fighting the fight.
Yeah.
Because I believe, with my aunt, she was again 32 years old, and I can only imagine she didn't want to go through the
Hmm.
treatment, and so she chose to just kind of deal with the pain, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but for me, you have your moments when you're thinking about, you just want it to
Yeah.
be down,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you kind of think about, and look at my children. I said, okay, I'm gonna keep fighting. This is the reason why I'm fighting.
Hmm.
So stay encouraged, stay prayed up, and don't be like me, being stubborn and being, independent and don't want anybody's help. Accept the help. So yes, Gloria knows.
Yeah,
Gloria knows.
I know because I think one of the things I remember when Christy had hers, I think I found out because another friend, Katrina McGee, she was either had been with Susan become breast cancer, whatever. And I found out they do all this stuff. They come clean your house, they'll wash your clothes, they do all this. And she ain't want nobody coming up in there like Karen. I'm like, I wish I could get somebody to come in and clean my house and wash my clothes, cook your food.
Gloria, you would not want somebody in your house.
Baby, let me tell I don't know who you talking about.
Mm.
Come clean my house, cook, do my
And you would go
clothes.
right behind them and clean it
That's all
because
right.
I know
It'd be
you.
less work going behind them. I tell you that. Now, both of y'all know I love y'all to death, and I really, really appreciate you coming on, especially like I said at the last minute and everything. But God always know what He doing. He got it all fixed up, so I appreciate it, and I hope it wasn't as hard as y'all thought it might be dealing with me on the on the thing. And even if I take after I take y'all off, y'all hold on for a second after I close the live broadcast, okay?
Okay.
So, everybody, I want to tell you thank you so much for being here. And this was an interesting time. And I just, these are two ladies. Everybody does not get to have people that are, just wonderful, wonderful people. And these two ladies, you saw the strength in them, and the way you hear people making excuses about not going to work for this or for that or whatever the case may be, you just didn't see it. And the strength that they showed, I think is good to give us all courage, regardless of what we're going through. And after I talk about next week, we're going to pray for them and a couple of other people that I know are going through this breast cancer struggle right now. But next week, we're going to have a young lady. Her name is Angel Ruiz, and she has written the book, The Healing Soul of a Survivor. And you really, really, she is an exceptional young lady with a powerful story, but a positive story also. So you definitely want to, be with us next week to hear Angel and to hear her story. But right now, I just want to pray for the ladies and all of those who are dealing. Father God, I just thank you for this time. God, first, I just lift up the Turner family, Miss Nancy's family, as we lay her to rest tomorrow and give her her crown of glory and have a homecoming, just celebrating who she was, that fancy lady who we love. And God, I just thank you for Christy. I thank you for Karen. I thank you for their life. I thank you for their friendship. I thank you for the courage for what they've been through, God. God, don't let that go unseen by you and by others, Lord. I just pray that all that they see, do, and from here on gives you glory. And God, for Lydia and Tanja, who are going through, they're in that process right now, God. I just pray that you would give them wisdom, give them peace, give them comfort, and guide them through this process. So on the other end, just like Karen and Christy, they can say, but God, and that you are there and you are a healer. So God, we give you the glory, we give you the honor, and we give you the praise. And it's in Jesus' name that I lift all these things up. Amen. So y'all, I hope to see y'all next week. I hope that you will come and join us. And I hope that my Dr. Camille will be back. We miss you, Dr. Camille, because you're the smart one. And I just be on here just making noise. So, everybody, we love you. Yep. Now, I'm going to say it again. Y'all put on your mask, okay? And do what you need to do so we can get this stuff out of here. But you might as well start making your mask match your clothes because we're going to be here for a while, okay? I love you. Have a good night. Mwah. See you next Monday. Bye bye.